Hello, 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 everyone. Happy Sunday. Hello, everyone. Come on in the room, get settled. We will start shortly. Thank you for joining the weekly energy reading, also known as weekly wisdom. I am Soleil. I am your weekly reader. I am the founder, facilitator of the Charm School Mentorship Program. I'm the cover mother of Vision of Dawn Tour, and I'm a dope bitch straight up out of Oakland. Happy Sunday. Happy March 8th. Happy International Women's History Day. We will start in just a moment. I'm going to be annoying and let this song finish. This is one of my favorite Leon Thomas songs. So I got to let this one ride out. You had this song on repeat. Like, I love Leon Thomas. I'm sorry. Like, he's my favorite right now. Love him so much. I've been listening to mostly him, Raphael Sadiq, and randomly enough, Freddie Gibbs on repeat for the last couple days. Hey, Aja, good to see you. Hey, La Bolin, good to see you. Okay, I'll go ahead and pause it. I hope everyone's in good spirits. I hope everyone is well rested. This time change is taking a lot out of a lot of people. I had several clients just like literally straight up miss their appointments today. And I woke up confused too. I was so confused because my phone said 1 hour and then every other clock in my home was on something else. I don't know why I forgot that daylight savings was a thing. I don't know if it's just the energy of everything going on right now that's making it a little bit more difficult for other people. La Balin, that's you are not the only one. That's exactly how I felt. I'm like, oh Lord, that's what happened. Yeah. A couple of people just straight up was like, Mambo, I'm sorry, I didn't time change had me messed up. Sorry, I missed my appointment. So, but it gave me an opportunity to get a good nap in. It gave me an opportunity to do my Sunday cleaning. So it gave me an opportunity to thaw out some gumbo. So I got food sitting on the stove waiting for me. So absolutely no complaints about it. But I wish everybody smooth transition into this shift and this change. For those of you who are returning, hello, welcome back. Good to see you all again. If this is your first time here, again, I am Soleil. This is the weekly energy reading where we all come together and just get some insights about the energy of the week ahead of us. If you are here because you saw me post somewhere that I'll be taking questions from the audience, I absolutely will. But I always do that after I've gotten through the general reading. So we start with a general reading, then I follow up on a few specific areas of life, then I pause and take questions from the audience, okay? So let's just go ahead and not you too, Acha. This is tickling me. I don't know why it's tickling me, but the fact that so many people are like, oh my God, daylight saving. That's hilarious to me. But let's go ahead and just jump straight into, I actually said I was going to use my True Tarot deck earlier because I have not used her in a while and I feel her calling to me. So we're going to use True Tarot as the main deck, and then we're going to clarify with Tarot of the Divine today. Ancestors, angels, listening masters, spirits, walk with me. Elevated ancestors, what wisdom do we as a collective need about the energy ahead of us over the next 7 days? Please give us insight into what is in store for us during the week of March 9th through the 15th. Who do we need to be and what do we need to see? Something flipped over. Who do we need to be and what do we need to see about ourselves, our habits, and our environments that will allow us to move through the next 7 to 10 days with mastery, with precision, with guidance. Any wisdom you want to pour into us is deeply appreciated. And actually, because of the time change, I'm not expecting a ton of people to be here tonight. Because some of y'all may still think that it's 6:30 instead of 7:30. Something told me to start at 8 o'clock. But because I'm a creature of habit, I was like, no, let me go ahead and change it back to 7:30. But I probably should have gone ahead and started a half hour late. Just because so many people are still adjusting to this new timeline. 2 of Wands fell out in the shuffle. But we're going to wait to see what that has to do with the rest of the spread. That makes sense. A lot of times when we ruminate on our problems from the past, especially if we've had any losses that have made big impact over us, it can put us into a spirit of anxiety that makes us feel like we have to jump on every opportunity presented to us. Coconut water. Why is this coming up? This is a week where if you do not have control over your emotions, and when I talk about control over your emotions, I mean looking at yourself, looking at your experiences, evaluating who you are, your environment with compassion, right? This is a week where if we do not have control over our emotions, we can be really, really hard on ourselves. We can treat ourselves in a way that is shitty. We can force ourselves into anxiety and overcommitment, okay? The wisdom of the 2 of Wands is telling me that a lot of us need to take time, not just journaling about the future we want for ourselves, but also taking inventory of how far we've come, how much we've accomplished, especially in our immediate past, right? This is a practice that I'm trying to get used to doing with myself. As someone with a Virgo moon, I can get so wrapped up in overwork and trying to be perfect in how I execute my goals that I can forget how much I've done. I can forget how far I've come, right? And the 2 of Wands, yes, it's planning for the future. Yes, it's inventory, creating an outline that orders your steps. But it should also be an opportunity for you to take inventory of what you've already done. A lot of you all are closer to the execution of your goals than you think you are. A lot of you all have put much more work and sweat and skin into the game than you understand. And the reason why you have a hard time understanding it is 9 of Swords, nightmare energy. You're so wrapped up in the ruminations and the panic around what has not gone right before that you have lost account and inventory of what you have done right. I remember I had a good friend when I was still in Oakland. I'm not going to say their name because they don't like it when I talk about them on live. But I was having one of my anxious moments. This was back in like 2017. And I was fussing about what I thought was going to not work out and how I was going to fail. And they said so sweetly, and they meant it so genuinely, they just looked at me in my face and said, well, do you have evidence of you failing? And I was puzzled. I was just like, no. And they laughed in my face. They just erupted in laughter, right? Why am I sharing this story? Some of you guys walk around with such a fear of failure that you don't let yourself do the things you need to do, right? And that is why the King of Cups is here, the compassionate leader, the loving father. How are you not only standing in your personal authority in a way that is compassionate and kind towards you, but what are the ways that you are withholding compassion from yourself that you would easily give to another person, right? There are ways that some of you all talk about yourselves. There are ways that some of you all sit and nitpick every wrong turn, every question you've ever had. And you wouldn't do that to another person at all. You wouldn't do it to your best friend. You wouldn't do it to your sister, your brother. So why are you doing it to you? The lesson of the King of Cups is one that asks us, how do we learn in the face of love? What does loving discipline look like in our lives? What kind of structure and discipline can we lean into when we give ourselves safety and nurture? And a lot of us need that, right? Because here's the thing, opportunities are picking up in our lives. And if we move from a space of desperation, anxiety, and doubt, which the Nine of Swords can often bring, we will very easily overburden ourselves, drain ourselves, overcommit. We won't even have the capacity to be grateful for this uptick, right? Another thing that I'm learning about the Eight of Wands is that in addition to it being that energy of stay ready so you don't have to get ready, right? So that you can have the capacity to take advantage of opportunities. It's also Phoenix rising from the ashes, right? That's another reason why there's no point in beating yourself up over any mistakes from your past. Because who you are now in this present moment is not the person that made those mistakes from the past. So yes, you are more than capable of taking on and meeting any challenges presented to you. But that doesn't mean that you have to take every challenge. And that's an important thing to understand. Allow yourself to be spirit-led. Some of you guys are so wrapped up in the anxiety, Nine of Swords over judgment, you're so wrapped up in the anxiety that is drowning out your intuition. Some of you guys have trained yourself to disconnect from your intuition, to ignore or read, and give too much attention to that anxiety that's present. Judgment card is coming up to remind you, tap in, listen to your spirits. They're going to tell you when it's time to go. I'm not going to sing E40 right now. I don't know why. As soon as I said, tell me when it's time to go, I started thinking to tell me when to go. But spirit is guiding you and it's going to give you wisdom. Nothing that's coming into your life in this moment is by happenstance. It is all divinely orchestrated. So yes, you are capable of handling the challenges that come to you because your spirits have been preparing you. They've blessed you with an environment and a community that not only wants to see you win, but they are aware of how they benefit from you and you benefit from them. You are blessed to be in an environment where steel is sharpening steel. That old environment that fueled and fed your anxiety no longer exists. There's no reason for you to be worried or anxious, right? You are blessed to be around people that want to see you win, that are creating opportunities for you to win because they know that when you win, they win. Lift as you climb energy, right? Why is all of this coming up? Because you're going to have some really good opportunities to move forward, right? To explore new aspects of the world, to really make ground on some goals and some things that you've been fantasizing about for a while. But if you rule and move from this place of anxiety, you can fuck up those opportunities. I'm going to be really real with you. Be compassionate with yourself. Give yourself the safety and the comfort you need to feel like you are capable. Look over your past for evidence of your successes, your evidence of your preparedness for everything that's coming to you. The cups are important because they're water, and water holds memory. And some of you guys got to let yourself swim in the memory of all that you've done, all you've accomplished, how far you've come, so that you can pull yourself out of these false thoughts and beliefs that don't serve you. They're only going to make you anxious. They're only going to cause you to lose sleep. They're only going to pull you out of alignment. And if you're not aligned, you won't be able to take advantage of those opportunities. So again, I really, really strongly caution a lot of you to sit in reflection. Again, plan for your future, absolutely. Get clear, see yourself winning, right? because that's what the Two of Wands asks us to do. But you also have to think about all of the evidence of what makes you capable of being able to take advantage of these opportunities, right? This week is not just about mindset, it's about your emotions. And what are the thoughts that make it hard for you to rest in the emotional belief of comfort and safety that things are going to work out for you, right? That's the general reading. I want to do health and wellness next because that's what feels right. Ancestors, angels, ascended masters, spirits that walk with me, my elevated ancestors. What wisdom do we as a collective need about our health and wellness as we go into the week of March 9th through the 15th? What are the habits, thoughts, ways of being, ways of eating, moving, taking up space that we need to either release, maintain, or increase so that we can have proper balance of mind, body, and spirit? What are the habits that are causing conflict within our holistic health? If there's any areas of breakthrough, blessing, progress, or difficulty related to our mind, body, and spirit over the next 7 to 10 days, highlight them now so that we know how to best prepare and protect ourselves. Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. Tori, I've been beating myself up all day. You got to stop that, baby. You got to really work on that. That doesn't serve you. That doesn't serve you. Imagine if you would have spent that time you spent beating yourself up, nurturing yourself. Imagine if you would have used that to remind yourself of how capable you are. You would have been in a much better head and heart space to plan yourself out of whatever difficulty or problem that you're dwelling on that's making you beat yourself up anyway, right? And that's not a habit that's of us. We don't come from a place, that's a learned behavior, beating yourself up. It's not natural to you. That doesn't come from our intuition. Take y'all asses outside. I know some of us live in environments where it's still snowing. I know that some of us live in areas where it's going to be raining most of the week. That should be even more motivation to take advantage of those breaks within the rain. You may be living in an environment where it's hot as hell. My client from California informed me that there's actually a heat wave in the Bay Area right now, which is crazy because it's only March. If you think global warming is not real, you're a fucking fool. But you got to take yourself outside. You got to take yourself outside. The more you sit in home and you dwell and you ruminate, the more that not only you are likely to deal with physical sickness, particularly in the form of headaches, but the more you are likely to just become way, way too anxious, right? Some of you all have a lot on your plate. I'm not going to hold you. Two of Pentacles, tightrope energy. You feel like you are balancing a lot. And if you step one side too far to the left or right, you're going to drop some shit, right? The answer to this is not to get worked up and anxious. The answer to this is to figure out how to gain enough clarity to take some things off of your plate, okay? And you're not going to figure out how to do that sitting in your home, clutching tightly to your possessions and being riddled with fear that if you fall, you'll lose something. Eight of Pentacles is worry about not having enough that makes us hoard, that makes us isolate, that pulls us out of the active environment of being involved in our life. Take your ass outside. Go sit in the grass. Go sit by the river. Put your feet in the water if it's warm enough, right? If it's not warm enough to put your feet in the water, at least go sit up under a tree. But get outside. I promise you, the more time you spend outside in nature, the easier it'll be for you to strategize, right? Out of your problems. That's the thing about the divine masculine energy of the Emperor. It's having the discipline to do what you need, not what you want to do. I'm going to repeat that again. Divine masculinity is about having the discipline to do what you need to do, not what you want to do. That's that Emperor energy. And whereas some of you all want to hide from your responsibility, you want to overgive in one area of life and then hide and retreat from everything else. You want to pour everything into work and then come home and sit on the side of your bed and hide from relationship, hide from church, hide from your friendship, hide from your kids. That's not divine masculine ambition or authority. Divine masculinity is doing that Emperor, sorry, wrong card, that Emperor, it throws off my vision, that Emperor ability to have structure and discipline is about doing what you need to do, not what you want to do. And a lot of you all need to spend more time in nature. You also need to spend more time in meditation. Bonus points to those of you who take this as an opportunity to actually meditate outside in the elements, letting the sun hit your body, letting the breeze hit your body, letting the cool air blow through your hair, blow through the top of your head, right? You need to spend more time outside because the isolation is not helping you. It's just making you more anxious and putting you in more deficit mindset. You will be able to think much more clearly and take control over what you speak into your life and your environment once you allow yourself to get outside and in movement more, okay? This is not a week where you need to, a lot of you guys will want to vent and trauma dump and unload onto people. This is not a week to do that. This is a week to strengthen your journey with prayer. If you feel like you need to get things off of your chest, book a session with your therapist, book a session with your life coach, take it to authorities or professionals, book a session with your priest or priestess. Even though the Page of Swords is the honor student, they are still learning about the value of their tongue, how to heal and harm. And some of the ways, the easiest ways that they can harm themselves is by over talking and over speaking to the wrong person. Okay? This is not a week to tell the wrong people your business. They will just get into your mind and make you more anxious. Share your anxieties with professionals this week. Don't go to the friend that's just going to commiserate with you and you're going to have that misery loves company moment with. That's not going to help you. This is about you learning, again, going back to that wisdom of doing what you need to do, not what you want to do. It's tempting to go and sit and complain to a friend. It is a sign of discipline, structure, and ambition to go and speak to the professional who's going to give you actual wisdom and instruction. A lot of you just want people to parrot back to you that you're great and that you're okay and that things are right. You need actual instruction. See your therapist, see your life coach, see your priestess. Don't just dump on friends this week. It's not going to help your health. Why is this coming up? This is structure that you need not only for yourself, but it is correcting poor habits within your family. A lot of you guys think that gossip is the same thing as healing. I know you don't want to hear this. A lot of you guys think that gossip is going to bring you closer to healing. You think that gossiping is the same thing as strategizing. And it is not. That 3 to 4 hours that you waste on time doing a telephone call, calling people in, patching them in, going over someone else's business, blaming other people, that's not fucking helping you. And it's a fucked up habit that you may have picked up from the elders in your family. We're getting real. 10 of Pentacles. What are the habits you need to break from the previous generation so that you model better behavior to the generation after you in terms of your health? And a lot of you, it has a lot to do with how you ruminate, how you escape through gossip and through complaining. It's not going to help you this week. It's also not going to give you positive structure around how to move forward. Sun card. Positivity, vitality, right? Again, that misery loves company energy is only going to have you ruminating, gossiping, fussing in a way that is circular and not to your benefit. What are you doing to help yourself develop positive mindset and positive habits that are going to bring you closer to what it is you want to experience, right? We're talking a lot about mental health and spiritual health in this reading, because if you think that that does not impact your physical health, you are a lie. This is the second time that this Two of Wands has come up. Some of you guys need to really sit and take inventory of your poor habits and bad behavior, because it's the only way. What do they say about recovery, right? You can't heal unless you admit you have a problem. Some of you guys can't fix your diet until you admit that you overeat and you eat bad food. Some of you guys can't fix your health regimen or your exercise regimen until you sit and admit you don't fucking have one. Some of you all cannot create better in terms of your mental health unless you actually sit down and write down and take inventory and be honest with yourself and say, damn, I've not talked to my therapist in 9, 10, 12, 16 months. And not only have I not spoken to my therapist, I'm sitting here venting and talking to the wrong people, trying to get advice from people. What I'm trying to get is approval, but I'm claiming I'm seeking advice. And I'm doing all this over explaining about my life to people who can't help me, right? Take inventory, be honest with yourself about where you are in terms of your physical, spiritual, and mental health, because it's the only way you can pull yourself out of where you are right now. To summarize all of this, there are too many of you guys who are hiding behind work. And if it's not your job, it could be another environment. But that Two of Pentacles is coming up because part of the reason why you feel stretched so thin is because you're giving everything to one part of your environment and not enough to the other spaces. In addition to that, you are using your exhaustion as an excuse to hide. You're not spending time in nature. You're not meditating. You're not getting wisdom from actual authorities that can help you help provide you with structure and strategy. You're hiding through gossip. You're seeking approval from people that are just as broken or just as unaware as you are. You got to get really honest with yourself about how your desire for approval and affirmation that it's okay for you to continue to numb and avoid and continue to do the wrong thing is positioning you to stay on this cycle, this tightrope that is keeping you drained and uncomfortable. What are you going to do to break the habits so that you can bring? We always want to fantasize and romanticize this language of breaking generational curses, but you're not doing anything when it comes to your health to break those generational curses. You're not going to see a therapist. You're not moving your body the way you need to. You're not disengaging from negativity and gossip. In fact, you are finding covering in it. So this is a week where you really got to ask yourself, how am I creating an environment that's keeping me on a tightrope, that's keeping me in this energy of anxiety? And how am I going to discipline myself out of it? How am I going to be honest with myself? What is the reflection, temperance that I need to have over my habits and my environment so that I can take control of my health. That is the health reading for the week. Let's do money next, and then we'll wrap up with love. I'm going to switch to Tarot of the Divine for money because I've been getting some really good money readings with this deck. Ancestors, angels, ascended master spirits, and walk with me, my elevated ancestors. What wisdom do we as a collective need at this time about our relationship with money, the flow of money in our life, with abundance and prosperity? If there are any habits we're engaging in that are causing financial blockages in our life, reveal them to us now so that we can break those habits. What wisdom does the week of March 9th through the 15th have to provide us? Will it provide us with as it relates to money, wealth, expansion in our lives? If there are any challenges, lessons, breakthroughs, experiences in this area of life, highlight them now so that we best know how to prepare and protect ourselves. Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. Page of Pentacles and the Four of Swords in reverse fell out. This is going to sound crazy. No, it doesn't. It may actually sound correct. Some of you guys have to really teach yourselves not only how to not worry about money, but that your lack of rest and your propensity towards overwork is what is keeping you broke. Some of you all are not getting increase or promotion where you are because you are burning yourself out and you're showing up anxious, desperate, tired, worn out. And it's keeping you in that energy of poverty. Not only through lack of opportunities, but if you continue to be on that hamster wheel, you'll just stay there until you get off, right? So the Page of Pentacles and the Four of Swords in reverse. What lessons do you need to learn? Because the Page of Pentacles is the apprentice, remember? She's the apprentice. What lessons do you need to learn about how your inability to rest, to trust, to recover, to regenerate is keeping your money low, is fucking up your finances? What lessons do you need to learn about the relationship between prosperity and rest? Because there is a relationship there, right? If the body is worn out, if the mind is worn out, if the spirit is worn out, it's hard to call in something new. Money does not like worry and anxiety and exhaustion. I tell you guys this all the time. Between these lives, between my rituals, between my readings, I tell you guys this all the time. But it's a false belief that you guys are not letting go of. And a lot of you guys need to let it go of, because what was the purpose of spirit putting you in an environment of care and support if you continue to believe that the only way that you will be abundant is if you work yourself thin? The people that love you, the people that want to work with you, the people that see the value in you, they don't want exhausted you. They don't want worn out you. They don't want desperate, anxious you. They want healthy, aligned, capable, full of clarity, full of self-awareness and worthiness you. That Three of Pentacles energy, you have people in your life that you are blessed to have say immensely positive things about you in rooms that you are not in. They speak highly of you and they refer you. But when they speak highly of you and they refer you, they're talking about the aligned, well-rested version of you, right? So you got to love on that version of you just as much as you love on the hyper, ambitious, initiator, Aries, run after it, go-getter energy. All my Aries friends are going through it right now because Aries don't know how to sit their ass down. the ambitious, go-getter, run after it, get it done version of you. Yeah, that's dope. But it's nothing without the version of you that is well rested, right? And that's something that Aries energy, that Page of Wands really needs to learn. Like, yeah, being the initiator is great. Being the go-getter is great. But if you go get to the point where you exhaust yourself, you fuck up your health, you end up in a hospital, you can't go after anything any longer anymore, right? Yes, the ambition is important in terms of execution, right? That's one of the things I'm always thrown off by people who only want to focus on the masculinity of prosperity work. But yeah, you can create an opportunity, you can create a stream through that initiatory energy, but you won't be able to hold it if you're anxious and worried and codependent and worn out and without rest and nurture and balance. I feel that because I feel like the more I work, the less clarity I have to really get ahead. For instance, I think I have planned and district goals. Yeah, because you're working from a place of desperation. Fire cannot go on forever. It burns out at some point. And at that point, you need recovery, right? And again, some of you guys are so in that energy of fire and initiation and ambition and running after a thing that you've lost sight of your own needs. Your cup is empty. You're giving from your drops instead of your overflow. So this is a week where you really got to slow down and ask yourself, what does my heart need? Queen of Cups. What do I actually need to even feel like I'm prosperous? Because I'm so busy running and ripping and doing things that I don't even know what it feels like to feel taken care of, to feel prosperous, to feel like I have what I need. You got to slow down and get in touch with your emotions. You got to get in touch with your heart chakra. Our heart chakra is where we receive, not just love. If the heart is fucked up, we can't receive money either. And some of you guys are working yourselves to the bone and it's not showing up in your bank account. And it's because you're working through desperation. And that's why you're sad. That's why you're hyperfixated on what you've lost. That's why you feel drained. That's why you can't even think about the future. You can't even plan the next move correctly and properly because you're so worn out. What are you going to allow yourself to what are you going to allow yourself to have and think so you can pull yourself out of this nightmare energy? I hate this. I hate that these two cards even coming up in a money reading. This is disgusting to me. These two energies together are so adversarial towards abundance. Right? Prosperity wants to create a future with you. And if you're crying over the past instead of paying attention to the cups that are still full, right? Being in a 9 of Cups gratitude energy for what you do have, neglecting the blessings that you do have because you're crying over the past. Of course, prosperity is not going to find you. Money's not going to make its way to you. If you are losing sleep instead of resting the way that you need to, letting your body regenerate, allowing recuperation, sleeping so that you can even have the voyages and the downloads from spirit that you need to understand what you need to do next, then of course money is never going to find you. Of course you're going to be on that hamster wheel where you're doing the same thing over and over again. Here's the crazy thing. I'm saying all this to you, but many of you have had your spirits already say this to you before. Judgment card. This behavior cannot follow you into the next chapter of your life. And your spirits have been trying to tell you this for a while. They've been trying to tell you, look, you cannot continue overworked, stressed out, tired, lacking sleep, paranoid, fearful that you're going to fall back into deficits of the past. You cannot enter into this next chapter of care, comfort, and abundance, moving in that energy. You can't. Right? That's why Page of Pentacles and the Four of Swords in reverse fell out. A lot of you all, you want to believe that the answer to your money problems is you need to bring more money in. No, because even if you brought more money in right now, you would just worry, stress, and push it away through overwork and a lack of rest, a lack of ease, a lack of comfort, because you haven't taught yourself how you need to feel and who you need to be in order to honor increase and influx. That is the money message this week. Get control over your money anxieties so that you can show up in the care and the nurture and the vitality that the people who respect you and who want to get money with you see you as. If you bring this anxious, worn out, tired, paranoid energy into your opportunity and your work environment, you're not going to see increase. You're not going to see forward movement. This is a week, and I think I've been saying it so much that it's falling on deaf ears at this point. If you don't navigate your anxiety, if you don't do the work of comforting your heart chakra and removing the blockages, it doesn't matter how much increase comes your way. It doesn't matter how many opportunities come your way, because you will find a way to reject them, because the issue is not an increase in opportunity. The issue is, are you even in a place to be able to receive blessing right now? And some of you guys can't receive blessing because you don't even know what makes you feel full, what comfort looks like to you. This is a week where you got to ask yourself, what do I look like when I feel comforted and nurtured? What is that to me? Because you already have a hyper awareness of what it means to be running after a goal, chasing a thing. Chasing is not what's going to get you what you need right now financially, okay? I hope that made sense. I hope it followed on the ears that needed to hear it. Let's do this love reading, and then I'll take some questions from the audience, from those who have them for me, okay? Ancestors, angels, ascended master spirits that walk with me, my elevated ancestors. What wisdom do we as a collective need about love and romance at this time? Who do we need to be and what do we need to see in order to have the experiences of love and be loved by those we want to be loved by over the next 7 to 10 days? If there are any challenges, lessons, blessings, breakthroughs, obstacles related to love, romance, and matters of the heart during the week of March 9th through the 15th, illuminate them now, shed light on them now, so that we best know how to prepare and protect ourselves. Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. I'll tell you this, 2026 really is the year of the horse. Because why the fuck is it already mid-March? Why is it mid-March already? It was the first week of February last week. At least that's what it feels like. March really has been moving like she got somewhere to be. I just said the same thing, Mambo. It's crazy. This year is moving by quickly as hell. I want to note that we only had one pentacle card come up in the finance reading, and the love reading is damn near all pentacles. But it makes sense, right? It's pentacles and earth energy. And I was explaining to someone else earlier in the reading, yes, the pentacles are about finances, but they represent earth energy in general. They represent the physical body. They represent tactile things, things you can touch, right? And I love this message when it comes to love. Actually, let me pull one clarifier. I'm going to use Afro Anime to clarify. Clarify the Five of Swords. What is the Five of Swords trying to tell us? Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. Yeah. Yeah. There's a concept I learned through studying astrology, my studies of astrology, because you guys know I'm always reading up on tarot and reading up on astrology because I'm trying to make myself stronger in both areas. Earth signs deal with what is called emotional permanence, particularly Tauruses and Virgo. Capricorn, not so much. What is emotional permanence? If you do something to us March 19th of 2003, when we come across you or you come across our path March 19th of 2026, it's going to feel like it happened to us in that moment. We're going to look at you as though you were the same person that did it 23 years ago. That's why people say that earth signs hold grudges. I get it. The negative of that as it relates to your love life is that some of you all, when it comes to love, you hold on to the wounds of heartbreak like they just happened to you yesterday. And even though you yourself are thriving, gorgeous, beautiful, abundant, attractive, independent, everything that someone wants to love on and be associated with, this inability to let go of your past heartbreaks is making love difficult for you. Five of Swords. Some of you guys really need to re-strategize around how you conceptualize love and how you show up in love. And this is a message that is for those who are either in, everybody. Doesn't matter if you're currently in a partnership that's reciprocal, so a marriage or a long-term partnership, or if you are trying to call in a marriage or long-term partnership. There's a way that some of you guys hold on to your wounds from the past instead of understanding them as experiences that even though they hurt, they needed to happen so you can learn something. And let it go. Let it the fuck go. That is the element of the Three of Swords that people struggle with the most. It is heartbreak meant for maturation. What is maturation? It is you maturing. It is you learning a lesson that makes you elevate in terms of how you show up in the world. It is not heartbreak that you ruminate over and that you throw in your lover's face or that you use to justify ghosting the person that's trying to get to know you, or that you use as an excuse to hide in your house and not go on dates. Some of you guys really need to re-strategize in terms of how you relate to your heartbreaks and your wounds related to love from the past. Because again, they are showing up through that energy of emotional permanence. They are showing up in ways that are harming your current romances. Queen of Pentacles. You can't heal. And the Queen of Pentacles is very much about healing. Some of you guys, whatever it is you need to give yourself and nurture yourself through so that you can heal and you can show up as your most loving, grounded, abundant self, figure that shit out. Figure that shit out and give it to yourself. That's the thing. That's what makes the Queen of Pentacles the Queen of Ease and Favor. She loves on herself so hard. And not in a Queen of Cups emotional way, but in a functional way. What is the thing that I need to do for myself? What is the exercise? Do I need to do yoga, right? Do I need to do some dancing? Do I need to dance the pain out? What do I need to give my body? Do I need to have a makeover so that I can feel beautiful again? So I can take myself out of that energy of feeling unloved or unwanted, what do I need to do? What is the grounded material practice that I need to give myself so that I can tap into my sensuality? Because when I'm tapped into my sensuality, not my sexuality, my sensuality, my awareness of my senses, my awareness of my desires, I vibrate in a way that brings me closer to love. When I give myself the love that I need, I automatically attract that out in the world. I always say that's why people love a Queen of Pentacles. You come to a Queen of Pentacles house, her shit smell good. She got the best wine, the most expensive water, the most comfortable couch. And she not doing that shit to flex or show off for y'all. She doing that because she needs it. And that's why people love her. Because the energy of overflowing love that she gives to herself is what attracts ease and favor in her life. And some of you guys are holding on to these past heartaches. It's like you're drinking poison thinking it's going to harm the person that harmed you. No. Let that shit go and treat yourself good. This is a heart chakra issue. Some of you guys are struggling with receptivity because you're not giving yourself what you need. And then you're wondering why love is a struggle. You're wondering why you're going on dates and not connecting with anybody. You're wondering why, things are weird between you and your partner because you treating your partner fucked up over some shit that the nigga from 23 years ago did to you, right? That's why I used my March 19, 2003 example. Why are you holding energy from 2003 in 2026 and then wondering why you can't have the experience of love you want? Because your heart is clogged with some old shit. Let it go. Let it go. That's what it means to be a King of Cups. That compassionate nurturing. Yes, it sucked that you went through that. But baby, we're going to discipline ourselves and we're going to discipline our hearts. It sucked that you went through that. But because I love you, what do we need to learn so that you don't experience that again? Be focused on that. Let the resentment go. Right? Hierophant. It's better to be disciplined and learn what it is you need to heal from than it is to fall into that tyrannical energy where you make everybody that loves you suffer, right? Because that's the thing, Hierophant in its alignment. Spiritual discipline that brings us closer to God. Spiritual discipline that puts us in alignment, gives us access to rites of passage so that we can be teachers and nurturers in the world. But when it's in debilitation, when Hierophant is in reverse, it's a tyrant. It's a tyrant. It's somebody who believes, okay, because I suffered, I have to make everyone else suffer. Any of y'all ever had a spiritual teacher that put you through some fucked up shit for no reason, just because they went through it? That's Hierophant in reverse. And some of you guys are showing up that way in your romances. Instead of healing and learning what you need to do to be better and spiritually aligned, you are waiting for the opportunity to hurt and harm the next person that loves you. Stop that goofy shit. What do you need to nurture yourself so that not only can you call in love that is aligned with you, but you know how to treat it and nurture it once it gets to you, instead of being a tyrant and making it pay for every heartbreak from your past. Okay? That's the love reading. Y'all work too hard to come too far, to be independent, to be beautiful, to be abundant, to still be gripping pain from your relationship past that you're beating your current partner and current lovers over the head with. Let that shit go. Wow, I was just literally just having this conversation with my elder cousin about hurts being experiences that we learn from to be able to live more full. Absolutely. Absolutely. Heartbreak has a function. Pain has a function. It is there to teach you something. It is not something that we are meant to wallow in. The concept of conceptualizing love when you've never been in love. I really, really want to encourage you to meditate over the Queen of Pentacles this week, La Balin. Because being in love starts with you. Fall in love with you. Of all the queens, the Queen of Pentacles understands this the most out of all of them. I call in love by the way that I love myself. I teach people how to love me by the way that I love me. And once you get through your own conceptualization of love through how you love on you, it's going to be easier for you to call in love that you are calling somebody to fall in love with. I think one of the biggest things, and this is how people end up in marriages with people that they hate, right? They expect love to be an answer that they find in someone else instead of figuring out what it means to love on themselves so deeply and inherently that just spills over into their relationship with another person, right? So it is a thing. You can do it, right? And it'll actually make it easier for you to fall in love with other people when you cultivate that relationship of self-love in a genuine way, not a love and life, new age bullshit kind of way, right? We're at the end of the general readings. Now I'm going to start taking questions from the audience. If there's anybody that wants me to answer a question for them this week, go ahead and send in your love offering. My Cash App and my PayPal are both scrolling below. So go ahead and send in your love offering. Start typing out your questions, and then I'll just go down the list in order. As you are typing out your questions, I'm going to go ahead and give you guys updates on things that are available, what I'm working on. If you were not able to watch Thursday's info session / gossip session that I did with Hunti Kodan, I strongly encourage you to go and do it. We outline and talk about road opening work in a really concrete way there. And the road opening ritual will start on March 28th. So if you know that you have obstacles you want to work through, if you want to open some roads in your life, opportunities that you want to create, blockages that you want to remove, this road opening ritual is a great opportunity for you to do it. Okay? If you are on the fence about road opening work and you don't know if you need it, I have a new service that I'm introducing at an introductory price of $85 for the month of March called the Pathways Activation Session. It is an alignment session where we figure out where road opening work is necessary in your life, if it is necessary, okay? So if you are interested in booking that session to figure out whether or not you would benefit from the road opening ritual, the link to both is below, both the ritual as well as the activation session, so that you can book either or, okay? Ancestral Life Path sessions are still listed as $85 on my website. I'm going to change that in the next day or so. But if you were somebody that was still interested in getting one, please know that if you book either tonight or tomorrow, you can still get it at that discounted price. I am still doing interviews for Charm School. So if you are looking for a mentorship program that you want to join, go ahead and click the link below so that you can join the intake group and learn more about Charm School. If you know that you need mentorship, but you have a hard time committing to in-person weekly classes, join the Charm School mentorship intake group anyway, because you can learn more about my study hall independent study mentorship program. That is a self-paced mentorship program where you get classes and assignments on a bi-weekly basis that you can navigate on your own time and own schedule, okay? Sacred Alignment Retreat is coming up July 17th through the 19th. If you are looking to have communion with other hoodoos, other spiritualists, particularly women. That is my Divine Femininity Hoodoo Retreat that is happening in mid-July. Join the intake group for that to learn more about that as well. I'm actually in the process of hammering out the last details of the itinerary. So if you want to look into what we'll be doing specifically, make sure you join this week to get those questions answered. And as always, you can book any reading you want to with me by going to soleilconjureshop.com. My readings are always open and available. You can always purchase an amulet, purchase a course, purchase my Rich Spirit body wash. All of that is available on my website. Okay. So Tori has a question. If there's anyone else that has a question, go ahead and send your love offering and type your question below. But we'll go ahead and start with Tori. Should I give up on my current love interest for good? What guidance does Spirit have for me to get through this emotionally? He's a really close friend. Okay. Ancestors, angels, ascended master spirits that walk with me, my elevated ancestors. What wisdom does Tori need about her current love interest? Is this something that she needs to release and disengage from for good? If so, what does that look like for her? If not, why not? And what is she not seeing clearly at this time? Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. Hey MJ, good to see you. I'm taking questions from the audience right now. So if you have a question, go ahead and send your love offering and type your question below, and I'm happy to answer it. Baby, yeah, let him go. Let him go. This is not your person. This is not your person. There's a long history between you and them, so there's a lot of nostalgia there. But it does seem like, and first of all, I accidentally pulled 6 cards. I'm going to read all 6 cards because they're there. But 10 of Pentacles, this is not somebody that's a part of your ancestral treasury. They're not supposed to move into your future. They're not going to bring, and it doesn't matter if you love them or if you have an affinity towards them, they are not going to bring anything in terms of ongoing longevity or wealth into your life. There's a lot of boundary setting that you have tried to do with them, and they're not listening. And a lot of it has to do with, it may feel like they are disrespecting you, and they are, but it's because they don't respect themselves, right? Again, you guys are probably tired of hearing me saying that over-explaining is a form of begging. When the 7 of Wands is in reverse, that's what it is. You've not been able to set boundaries with this person that they respect because it's one ear out the other. And you're at a point where you feel like you're begging. If you don't back out of it gracefully, you will experience it as a tower. So go ahead and back out before it feels chaotic and disruptive, right? Part of what is keeping you attached to this person is that they've been in your life for a minute, 6 of Cups. So there's a lot of nostalgia there, right? And I'm going to say this next thing, not to be hurtful, but it's coming up in the cards. And you know I have to be obedient to spirit and what comes up in the cards. You're also locked into this because you're in a poverty mindset right now when it comes to love, right? You feel in deficit and in restriction. And because of that, you are making deficit-based decisions, which means that you are clinging to somebody that you already know intuitively is not meant to be your person, right? 5 of Wands, it's just going to continue to be arguments and back and forth and feeling like you're being bulldozed over and low-key bullied because this person is focused on what benefits them, what they get, not how they serve you, okay? And this happens. Somebody can be a great friend but a terrible lover. It's not uncommon. And I think that's what's happening here. You, again, because of a lot of what's going on with you, you are conflating the love you have for this person as a friend with romantic love, instead of allowing yourself to go out and attract and call in the actual romantic love that's going to move you forward. But none of these cards are saying that this is your person. None of these cards are saying that he's going to make your life better. If anything, it's just going to bring enough distraction to throw you further off balance and out of alignment. So let him go, baby. Go ahead and let him go. It's probably not the answer that you wanted, but let him go. Anyone else have any questions that they want me to answer tonight? Anyone else has a question that they would like for me to answer? If not, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up for the evening. I'm going to go ahead and take that as a no. I'll see you all Thursday. We'll be doing Astro Hour on Thursday. So we're going to be talking about some of the transits that are coming in towards the end of the month going into April. Again, if anyone would like to book a reading with me, go to my website, soleilconjureshop.com, to book with me. If you are interested in learning more about the road opening ritual, click the link below so that you can join the intake group and get more information. If you are on the fence, even with that information, again, the Pathways activation sessions are on a discounted price for the month of March. So if you want to get a session to figure out if road opening is something that you would benefit from, I strongly encourage you. Tiffany, you have a question? All right, Tiffany, go ahead. See, you caught me, right? See how I was just ready to go ahead and log out. Go ahead and send your offering, Tiffany, and then type out your question, and then I'll answer your question. If there's anyone else other than Tiffany that has a question, go ahead and submit it now so that way I can answer your question, okay? Tori, let me know how you're feeling. Let me know if you're okay after your reading. Can you look into my energy around the CVS position and see if this is meant to be a long-term opportunity or if it's temporary stepping stone? I got you, Tiffany. If there's anyone else that has a question, go ahead and send those in now. If not, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up after Tiffany, okay? Ancestors, angels, ascended masters, spirits, walk with me. Elevated ancestors. What does Tiffany need to know about her CVS job? Is this a long-term opportunity or is this a temporary opportunity? Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. I'm going to call you. I got a reading after I get off of here. But if it's not too late for you, I'm going to call you around 9:30, okay? You got this. I promise you got this. Okay, Tori? Hierophant, 2 of Cups, 5 of Cups. This is meant to serve you for now. You got to be disciplined. Hierophant, strategy, right? Hierophant, the discipline to do what you need in the moment to learn what you need to learn, right? Another thing about the Hierophant is that it's also the card of the tyrant. So you probably aren't getting along with some of your supervisors. You're probably being micromanaged in a way that is pissing you off. And you need to answer that, right? There is a job out there that is aligned for you, that is reciprocal, right? Twofold. So again, there's a job out there that's aligned for you and is reciprocal. You will find that job, so keep looking. But also, take what you need from where you are, right? Cups pouring into each other equally. So do a good job because they need you to do a good job, but also just take your paycheck while you have it and be happy. But I do get that this is a job that is going to stress you out and piss you off in the long run, which is why, again, that Hierophant is saying be disciplined, do what you need to do, see this as a stepping stone. The card that fell out while I was shuffling was the 5 of Wands in reverse. So there is just a lot of petty energy in this work environment, And that's why we have that 5 of Cups. If you stay here long term, it will just make you upset. You will feel like you're getting kicked around. So I'm going to say that this is a temporary opportunity that is a stepping stone for you. Don't let them pull you out of character. Be disciplined, be deliberate, be determined, but keep looking for something else. Get what you need out of this situation and give yourself permission to move on and move forward. Okay? All right. Well, I don't see any other questions other than Tiffany and Tori, the two T's. So thank you both for submitting a question. I'm going to go ahead and wrap up for the evening. Again, we will be back Thursday at 8 p.m. If you are just now trickling in for some reason, please watch the replay so that you can benefit from the general reading. If you are interested in learning more about the road opening ritual, click the link below so that you can join the intake group. If you would like to get a reading to see if you could benefit from road opening, click the link below to book a Pathways activation session. Okay. Charm School is open for membership. So if you would like to join my mentorship program, join the intake group so that you can learn how to schedule an interview. If you know that you need mentorship, but you can't commit to in-person classes weekly, and you need something that is much more self-paced, join the Charm School intake group anyway so that you can learn about Study Hall, which is my self-paced independent study mentorship program. Love you all. We'll see you Thursday. I want you all to take good care of yourselves. And until next time, bye.